Welcome to game one of Andy versus Legend. The map is Heck Freezes Over, and in the bottom left, as the red allies playing America, it's Andy.
On top right corner, we have Legend playing as Iraq.
Zhas, when you reached out to me the other day, you said, hey, I want to get some games if you're up for casting them. And then I was like, yeah, I'm definitely up for it. And we had a little bit of trouble scheduling. And you said, well, hey, I'm trying to find non-Rhino versus Rhino tank spam games, and it's harder to do that. So we actually do have Iraq versus America in a 1v1. It's not going to be Rhinos and Dogs versus Rhinos and Dogs. I'm so excited for this.
Yes, we will definitely see different units like Seal, maybe Mirage, Rockies, and then Andy will be playing as Yuri.
So he has gone for a commitment of playing at one point in this best of 9 as Yuri. That's pretty cool.
It depends on map. For example, this map is considered as bad map for Yuri, and Andy is one of the best Yuri players, so he knows what he's talking about. Because it's hard to defend miners on this map. Look, see, it's hard to expand.
Oh, because of how spread out they are?
Yeah.
So the engineer in the IFV, is he really going for just a sneaky cap of like an opponent building?
He wants to capture or make him force opponent to sell the building.
Right, but I love that he's going for this right out of the game. Like, this is his number one thing that he attempts, is an engineer into an IFV. 2 of them, actually.
And Andy moved MCU to the middle already.
Andy going for the gems. These 2 IFVs still coasting around Legend's base. Legend has done a good job of keeping them away with his 1 Rhino tank. So Legend up to 5 miners, 2 refineries.
Andy has 6 miners. And also, 7? Or I can't even count. 8 miners.
Oh my gosh, plus the gems in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
So Andy's economy feels like it's getting ready to explode. He's going Grizzlies back at home. And the IFV does make it in, but the dog gets the engineer. The other engineer getting trapped by a conscript. And Andy's engineer attempt does get shut down. I think he may have forced the sell-off of 1 building.
Yes, that is right. That is clear.
2 Rhino tanks and duking it out with 1 Grizzly in the south of the expansion. And of course, Legend definitely knows about the expansion now, but he also sees how much of the gems have already been harvested. So he knows that he's pretty late to the party there.
And he's got lab already.
He's already gone up to the tech lab, and unfortunately for Legend, he's going to have a hard time just breaking this base with a couple of Rhinos.
Andy is building a Tanya. Look at his barracks.
And the IFV is already standing by. These Rhinos are going to roll into the base. First Mirage pops on out of flak as well. Loaded up with an engineer. He goes for the battle lab, but he doesn't get it. And no, unfortunately for Legend, his own sneaky engineer play doesn't work. Tanya pops out, and into the IFV she goes.
And Legend is preparing defense with conscripts, and he will put conscripts inside the bunker against Tanya.
Nice. Tanya along the north side of the map now decides to cut away though. So for whatever reason, Andy decides it's not the right time to go in. He backs Tanya off into the corner of the map. Paradrop, I feel like that might have been one of the few paradrops we've actually seen this game, but it comes in defensively for Andy. Decent amount of Rhino tanks here. Another flag pops on out. Tanya comes in, but the snipe comes through. Only a war factory down. Was that correct? She only got a war factory?
Yes, because everything else is defended well.
Andy coming through with the defense, or Legend coming through with the defense. Andy not able to get as much as he wanted.
Look at
they're like,
look at Andy's barracks. It's spy. He's trying to spy. See?
The like quad battle bunker is a good setup there for Legend. So the spy gets in the IFV, Andy constantly with these around the back kind of attempts. Another paradrop in the middle. Rhino tank on the left side, but the Terror Drone as well. Terror Drone gets inside of the IFV. The IFV does not get a kill on it, and the spy does manage to survive for the moment.
Oh,
gets
he
into
stole
the
the money.
refinery. That was one of my favorite things to do growing up, was just stealing cash with the spy. Couple of grizzlies on the right side going for the miners. Gonna get stopped by some desolators and some rhinos. Battle bunker in a good spot there.
Chronosphere is up.
Tanks.
Chronosphere is up before Andy. Bottom.
Decent amount of Mirage tanks as well out on the field. Chronosphere, yeah, way down in the south, right in the center. Legend just has not been able to get on Andy's side of the map hardly at all. He's going to try 5 Rhino tanks splitting off down the left side of the map. Another paradrop coming through the middle. Andy is going to respond Mirage tanks heading back home, but it's going to be perhaps a bit of a dual-pronged assault here. Nope, the Rhinos turn around. All right, Legend joining forces. A lot of Rhinos coming down the middle. A couple of flaks as well. We have not seen a single Rocketeer this game so far from Andy. Rhinos moving in. It's Dogs and Mirages versus these Rhinos. Rhinos getting shredded, but a Prism Power gets added on as well. So the pure numbers of Legend do bring him a short victory, but is he actually going to be able to do anything? Here, Desolators go Ultra there as they just melt the surrounding area. Prism Tower cleans up the last couple of Rhino tanks, and a couple of battle bunkers moving in for Andy. So what do you actually call this?
Battle Fortresses.
Battle Fortress, of course. It's been a while since we've actually seen them. One random Rhino tank does survive the assault. One random flak track did get forgotten as well. Those Desolator defense, pretty solid. Rhino tanks coming in for the MCV. They're going to the front on the GIs. Andy everywhere with this defense, but the Rhino tanks now wasted too much time, and the Mirages are here.
Chronosphere is used the top right. PFs.
A couple of Battle Fortresses coming in, as well as a Paradrop getting some of those battle bunkers down, and now Legend's base has been broken. He's still got a decent spread. A couple more ore miners going down. Rhinos coming in to respond. Battle Fortresses move down. The GIs have cleaned up everything else. That Chronosphere getting a lot of work done for Andy. The MCV way over on the left for Legend. He's managed to escape for the current moment. Another paradrop coming in. Andy keeping up the aggression pretty much constantly. Oh, that random... There was one random Rhino tank in the south of the map that finally got cleaned up. Paradrop comes in on top of and on top of Legend's MCV. Rocketeers show up as well. The Rocketeers are the only ones actually attacking. Battle Fortresses trying to be kept away by those Desolators, and the MCV is getting targeted. It finally goes down, gets sold off at the last possible moment there. Battle Fortress leading the way, trying desperately to clean up the Desolators. Rhinos versus Mirages. Way too many Mirages, though. The GG gets called in after 10 minutes of solid beating. Legend takes the loss. And Game 2 takes us to the map Proving Ground, with in the north up 1-0 as the Red Yuri. This is Andy.
And on bottom we have Legend as yellow playing as Iraq.
He goes for the oil derricks right away, and he gets, you know... Do you start with 4 oil derricks?
Yes, that's some new stuff made by CnCnet. It's called AutoCap.
Okay, so you start with 4 auto-cap oil derricks, and that's why the expansion is already over at the gems. Going for an immediate wall, so Andy completely walls in his MCV and just locks himself in his base, so he's clearly expecting some shenanigans from Legend.
Yeah, NG Flak might sneak there and capture MCV.
I mean, right now the engineers are literally just walking their way to the base. A brute attacking one on the right side of the map. Conscripts going for the oils of Andy. And Andy is going to be able to shut down those conscripts. There's another engineer in the middle of the map, so this could be a distraction play, but there's a Gatling tank ready for it. Andy always with the disruption plays in this particular series. He gets up to his radar, his first war factory is out.
Legend killed top right oil with conscripts.
Oh my gosh, he actually got it. I thought for sure it was going to survive. Engineer from Andy, or from Legend, excuse me, moving into Andy's base. Is he gonna get a power plant or a barracks? There's actually nothing here.
Yes,
he gets the power plant. Legend grabs the power plant of Andy. I don't know if he can try and use the build radius to drop anything. I guess he can drop like a barracks if he had been ready.
Two rhinos, two slaves are harassing power plant on top right.
Oh my gosh, the sentry gun in the main as well. So this is just turning bad for Andy. He's playing Yuri, he's showing us a bit of difference, and he's having a lot of disruption to deal with right from the beginning. A second oil derrick is going to go down. And too bad for those slaves.
So Andy recaptured that power plant. He didn't kill.
Yeah, he goes for the power plant. He did have to kill the sentry gun, but he completely takes that away from Legend, who's already up to his battle lab. He's got his nuclear silo. Legend is looking pretty well set up for all of the harassment he's forced on Andy so far. And just as Andy's own battle lab comes up, the Iron Curtain gets deployed by Legend. So a lot different from game number one. Legend going on the aggressive right from the beginning. And Andy is the one who's having a difficult time dealing with it this time.
But Andy has more miners. Oh, no, not anymore. Because Legend has built miners from War Factory. Look at the bottom right.
Oh yeah, he's got 3 over there on the gems. Plus he's got still all of his oil derricks. Or 3 of his 4 oil derricks. He lost 1. A little bit of Rhino Assault coming in here on the left. Legend is maybe going to get another oil derrick. No, he doesn't commit to it.
Because of Psychic Tower, it will capture his units.
Flying Saucer in the middle. Desolator clearing up the miners in the middle of the map. Genetic Mutator comes online. Is this just going to be a late game economy move, the Genetic Mutator, or is he actually going to use it offensively?
He will turn slaves into brutes and make money by grinding.
Right. So it's just the late game eco kind of thing. It's not. Yeah. A couple of Terror drones coming in. They do get the impact on at least, I think, the Mastermind and the Magnetron. So this entire attack from Andy is already cut off a little bit at its knees. Gatling Tech do get the kill on one of the Terror drones. The mass flak chasing down the Gat tanks. And the Desolator is going to get a couple of shots on as they exit. So despite the rough opening, it feels like Andy has done a really good job stabilizing.
Okay, let's count the war factories. Legend has 2, only 2. Andy has 4, so double more amount of war factories by Andy. He will be producing army quicker.
Genetic Mutator's got a couple of seconds left before it's ready to go. Fires off there.
He will grind those brutes and make money.
Yeah. We have in Red Alert 3, we have a similar thing where late game you can do a similar thing with getting the Terror Drone Surprise upgrade. And he's not sending the brutes into the grinder just yet. Holding off for the current moment. Another Mastermind gets caught there. and he grinds it immediately by a terror drone, or gets caught by a terror drone.
Andy's using his brutes offensively. Look.
That's a bit of a surprise that he's actually bringing them on the attack. Rhino's just committing to the attack. They go for the Psychic Tower. They clean up the Psychic Tower. They don't go for the kill on the oil derrick. They'd rather just escape. A couple of Rhinos do get left behind. And, well, unfortunately for Andy, they don't have much health, but he does have one Rhino under his control there. Ore trucks getting harassed, mass flaks, mass terror drones coming in to try and push this attack back. Andy having to retreat a little bit here, but just enough space to survive. Desolator trying to come in, but the Desolators are all getting mine capped before they actually get any damage done. And it looks like the mass flags.
Split by Andy bottom right with slashers.
In a couple of lashers, not sure where the nuke landed. The one more factory down there does go down. Meanwhile, in the top, Legend continues his assault. His nuclear missile has landed somewhere, and the flaks are just getting torn to pieces. Too much mind control here for Andy to keep up the main base assault. Legend will exit the left side of the map, but he'll come in on the right side with a couple of Rhinos going to attack the miners over on the right side. Looks like two miners will end up going down to these Rhinos. Freeing the slaves there as Magnetron shows up, a couple of gat tanks as well. Legend trying desperately to call that in.
Not sure what, where he used Dominator.
Must have been on an army somewhere or something.
He killed some buildings.
Maybe in the main base?
Some important buildings.
A couple of brutes on the right side of the map with a Rhino as well. These Yuri matches just go insane so quickly. The mass flag from Legend seemed to be working initially, but it seems he seems to be having a bit more trouble with it now. A couple of flaks do get grabbed by the Mastermind, and now Ore Miners on the left getting assaulted once again. Legend trying desperately to break Andy's economy, but it just has not been working. They're both floating over 10k in resources, so even if they do a bit of damage to the economy, there's still more than enough float to be able to deal with it. A couple of brutes in the bottom right going for a bit of an assault, but Rhinos moving in the top right, going for the attack on the miners. Once again, breaking a couple of the miners of Andy. Is Legend just gonna suicide and go for it?
Well, he's busy defending Andy's main army in middle.
The brutes go for the kill on the battle lab in the south. The brutes in the middle of the map all get cleaned up, and the Rhino tanks are still running rampant in Andy's main base. Legend trying to clear that up. Another nuclear missile fires off there, and I have a feeling, yeah, right in the middle of Andy's base, almost every single war factory gets shut down. I think he's low on power as well. And Legend may have done it after an aggressive first game from Andy and a pretty confident first win from Andy. Legend is on the cusp of bringing it back and sending Andy a little bit further down, evening up the score 1-1. I guess he hasn't actually done it yet.
Yeah, it's now over.
All right, going for the power plant. A couple of Lasher tanks are here. Too many Psychic Towers to easily be able to move into this base, but another War Factory does get smashed. Mass Conscript coming in from Legend as well. I think these were from sold-off buildings. Andy trying desperately to keep himself alive. A couple of Lasher tanks here. Legend splits up his army into two groups. Flaks on the top, Rhinos on the bottom, but not able to break through. Andy's almost completely out of cash at this point. He has blown through his 10k float, and he is down to just a couple $100. So many miners have gone down.
Be one with you.
Only
Oh, it
2
catches
times.
only a couple of tanks. Black's trying to clear the flying saucers. Rhino's going in at it with the lashers. And finally, the Terror Drone's coming in. The GG gets called, and Andy has been defeated. Legend evens the score 1-1. Welcome to the map, Jabal, for game number 3. The first tiebreaker, hopefully the first tiebreaker of many. In the north, as the Red Yuri, once again, it's Andy.
And on bottom, we have Legend playing as Iraq.
Alright, so right out of the gate, you get a couple of tech structures. The tech machine shop gives you repairs, am I right?
Yes, it repairs your vehicles automatically per second.
Okay. So we've got a power plant and a machine shop that you get right away.
Yes, also
In Red Alert
autocap.
3, right, they're both autocap. In Red Alert 3, it's often a big focus if there is a garage or the equivalent of a machine shop. That's usually the focus of if one player gets it, the other player goes to kill it. Because it's very powerful. Is this the same kind of a thing? Are they going to be trying to target down each other's machine shops?
Yeah, machine shop is huge. And they will try to recapture, kill.
Alright, so that's good to know that the tech structures actually do play an important role here in Yuri's Revenge, as they do in some other games. I know sometimes, like in Red Alert 3, they also have, you know, observation posts, and just no one cares about observation posts. They're in the game, but just no one bothers with them. So I'm glad to hear that the tech structures matter a little bit more.
Legend is going to capture tech machine shop on top right.
Okay, so he goes for, the tank bunker is a little bit too late there, so he's got a double machine shop. Legend also moves his MCV to the gems in the middle of the map. The miner is there for Andy on the reverse side, so they do split the gems sort of in the middle of the map. Legend taking half, Andy taking half. And it looks like Andy is just going to go for the kill on his own machine shop. Stop Legend from having control of that. Oh my god. Is he going to save the machine shop?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Legend manages to save the machine shop. The Yuri MCV moves for the gems a little bit south of its original position, moves towards the middle of the map. There is still that cliff separating the two MCVs, but they are quite close quarters. And Battle Lab actually deploys in the northern position, so Legend doesn't put his Battle Lab back in his main base. He does put it
In dangerous position because of discs.
MCV. It seems like a curious choice. There is a brute in the bottom left working away at the machine shop of Legend. So Legend is going to be down to just one, which Andy can potentially recapture. Desolator comes out. It gets sniped immediately by a Gat tank. First super weapon is here with the Iron Curtain from Legend.
Andy lost
Wow,
his
Andy's-
miner on left side, look. There are
It's one
slaves.
gem miner. Meanwhile, the MCV for Andy repositions onto the top of the cliff, extremely close quarters here. He drops a war factory as well. This Desolator trying to force away these buildings, or force away these units, but he does get mine capped. This feels really awkward on the right side of the map. These guys are such close quarters with each other.
Kirov Reporting.
Nice. Kirov by Legend.
And I can't believe we actually do get to see it. Kirov coming down. The MCV of Legend is under assault. Almost no way to save that. He is going to Iron Curtain it to keep it online, or Power Shield, or whatever that is.
Shield. Force
He
shield.
does shield it to keep it online. Meanwhile, in the main base, a couple of Desolators as well. The Kirov does go down, so now Andy is safe. Legend does keep his MCV alive for the current moment. And too much mind control. Andy is taking every unit of Legend away from him. He's going in for the MCV again. No force shield to save at that time. And it looks like Andy will eventually get cleaned up here. Meanwhile, Legend heading in with a couple of Miners in the base of Andy, but it's going to get shut down. Unfortunately, Legends' sneak attack didn't work. Iron Curtain on a couple of Rhinos and a Terror Drone as well. Trying to move in, he's going to be able to take down at least one of the towers. He's going for the tank as well. Second Psychic Tower gets established, but now the Iron Curtain has elapsed. And it's just about trying to kill these power plants. Ooh, Legend is getting torn to pieces. I mean, from this point, is there any hope for Legend in this match?
No, because no MCV, no repair depot to rebuild MCV.
Right. He's still fighting it out, so we give it to Legend for his honorable fight here. He does still have that tech repair shop in the north. Not that it has played much of a role in this particular match. And Yuri Prime is here, unfortunately, for Legend. Everything goes over to Andy. The GG gets called, and a relatively swift game number 3. Andy takes back the score 2-1. And that will take us to map number 4, Stardust. In the top side, as the yellow Soviets once again play in Iraq, it's Legend.
On bottom left corner, we have Andy playing as America, as the red color.
Coming back to America. So a tech power plant and then an oil derrick on this map as well.
Sneaky NG by Andy on bottom left.
Oh, Andy. Always with your engineers. Although I guess he didn't do that with the last couple of games, but, you know, Legend tried it in game number 2. So we get our engineer shenanigans every match, it seems.
Yeah, but it's like not to end the game right away. It's just to slow down your opponent.
But also, like, maybe you get lucky and it does basically end the game.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those, like, keeping them honest move. Flak track on the right as well. I assume loaded with an engineer?
Yes.
Ooh, he actually does stop to fight against the 2 pillboxes. Maybe a bit of a mistake there.
Top
and
left.
It looks like
Angie is going to capture. Yes.
Yeah, he just goes for the power plant. I guess that gets him a bit of build radius there as well.
Andy feels confident because he captured the top left power. Now he gets 1 free expansion.
Right, but also, like, is Andy just saying well played to himself? He's just congratulating himself. He's like, yeah, that was a good move. Good job, man.
Kind of.
You're killing it. Alright, so double pillbox versus double rhino. Obviously, triple pillbox. Now, obviously, Legend wants to shut down this expansion if he can, and it looks like he cannot. Sad day for Legend, as he is going to have to back off there. Terror Drone hunting some grizzlies in the middle of the map. Does force the suicide there. Barracks gets established in the top left, so Andy is spread out literally in 3 of the 4 corners of the map. He has got a little bit of presence. Is he actually going to be able to hold his main, though? A couple of Rockies are here. Only 1 flak track is mixed in with this army. Legend is literally just limping units 1 by 1 across the map. His MCV is also repositioning. We'll see if he's able to do it. Prism Tower gets dropped down. Rhinos are here, but they get pushed away immediately. Flak is going to commit deep into enemy territory. He is going to call these tanks off of it, and it is an engineer inside. Prism Tower does get taken down, but the tanks are able to respawn, and Andy pushes back Legend for good. Legend has repositioned his MCV into the middle of the map. Behind this, Rockies and Grizzlies giving chase to these Rhinos. Nice paradrop coming in the top left defensively for Andy. using those free units to defend that expansion.
Let's rock and roll.
Tanya again.
And Tanya. Are you kidding me?
Paradrop doing damage on top.
Yeah, he's getting one sentry. He gets the refinery, maybe? Barely! He gets the refinery before the sentry gun takes him down. I didn't actually see where the Tanya spawned in.
Top right.
Already in the IFB, going for the War Factory. Going to be able to lock down one War Factory and not a second War Factory. The battle bunker is there. The conscript's able to deal with Tanya. Legend resituating himself towards the middle of the map. His main base and his expansion on the north side have not worked out well for him. It feels like Andy is just all over this game.
Yeah, Legend is
Another
trying to
Tanya
harass
comes
miners on bottom right.
4 Rhino tanks, but killing a couple of miners isn't going to shut Andy down. Another Tanya is going to be heading towards Legend's base. It'll be there momentarily. Rhinos along the south side of the map. A lot of Mirages, a lot of Grizzlies going to be responding to these Rhinos. It is pulling a lot of forces out of position. There's a second group of Rhinos looking for an opening, looking for an opportunity. The Rockies now giving chase to the Rhinos on the left side of the map, and Legend is going to try and punch through here. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to get anything done. There's so many Mirages here for Andy. Tanya does clear up a couple of Desolators. Legend floating 10k, Andy floating 10k, so they do both have a decent bank here building up.
Sneaky Grizzlies on top.
Oh my gosh, he dropped a War Factory up there? Or no, he's sneaking Grizzlies through.
Yeah.
And there is still a Tanya somewhere out on the map.
It's on the right side.
Couple of Grizzlies trying to sneak through, not necessarily doing all that much damage. Tanya going for the MCB, she's gonna get it! The Tanya play coming through once again, gets the radar as well. Going for the barracks after that, tags the barracks, dies before the War Factory, but grabbing that MCB, I don't even think there's a service depot. Legend might be kind of cut off here.
Yeah. Andy has
so many
4 War
Mirages.
Factories. 4 War Factories
Yeah,
and
Legend
10k.
is. Yeah, Andy, it feels like, has just run away with this game. Andy just non-stop with the sneaking around, the engineer at the beginning, the double Tanya, and then he's just been defending super well. Legend is bringing basically everything that he has. It's not going to be a good fight, but he's going to try and fight somewhere. I guess he could smash the top left base.
Yeah.
Gap generator in the top right kind of concealing the fact that there's a Rocketeer army getting built. Alright, is Legend just gonna go for it? Andy even pulling back his defense a little bit, selling off that War Factory. And I guess Legend is going to go for it. Do or die. He's gonna get one War Factory. Andy is happy to sacrifice it. Even the Battle Lab gets sold off there. Mirages are happy to engage next to the MCB to just pick off those Rhinos one by one. He's going to get the MCB. The Rhinos commit to the attack. Desolator's able to clear up everything else on the ground, pushing those Mirages away. The barracks goes down. The additional War Factories are going to be next. But these Rhino tanks are pretty beat. Double Prism. War Miners absorbing the shots. The last call of Legend. And it's just not quite enough. Andy now streaming Mirages into Legend's base. He's heading north. Legend is going to recommit the attack, losing a couple of Rhinos as they pass a random PI. The defense won't come through because Legends tanks just got owned in the bottom left-hand corner by a single... Alright, so Andy takes the 3-1 score lead. Man, Andy just all over these games, just unrelenting. Which takes us for game number 5 to the map Legends, Nope, Caverns of Siberia for another 1v1 in the north as the yellow. It's Legend.
On bottom left we have Andy playing as America.
Kicking it with America again. You were a little bit surprised that he wasn't going Yuri on this map.
Yes, because some people say that Yuri is overpowered on this map because of the cliffs. You see that Magintron can come and get you a mina, lift it on the cliff.
Okay, but Andy not wanting to commit to any of that. He's going to be making use of those paradrops like we saw in the last game and then in the first game as well. So hopefully, Legend will maybe start the comeback a little bit here. The score being 1-3 in Andy's favor. It's looking a bit dicey for Legend. Legend has 2 shots left to turn this series around, and I don't know, I feel like he can do it, but it's going to be a tall order.
Battle bunker by Legend to defend his War Factory by against NG.
Yeah, so right out of the gate, the NG comes in, but the battle bunker is already there. Sentry gun as well, gonna go for the power plant, see if he can get it, but no, he can't. So good defense there by Legend. Andy trying the slick moves again, but not getting it.
So 4 miners each. Andy's still making miners.
Oh, Legend going for his own flak engineer play, so he's a little bit slower on the engineers, but he's doing the exact same thing that Andy is going for. Both of these guys zeroing out their accounts a little bit, and no tech structures to play around on this particular map, which is kind of interesting. Alright, flak has been spotted. Andy responding. Andy trying to... or Legend trying to bait Andy into these Rhino tanks. Legend even showing the engineer for a moment there, going for the War Factory, I guess, and he doesn't get it. Barely not able to get that War Factory. Rhino's on the exit, taking a couple of shots at these tanks, or at these miners. And he's going to pick up a couple of Grizzly tanks. Nicely done there for Legend. Keeping the pressure on with another tank being added into the mix, forcing the sell off of one of the refineries and just still going ham for these miners. He's blocking off the refinery as well and gets the kill on the second refinery. So the battle lab is up for Andy, but he's got no refinery. He's got enough cash though. Paradrop coming in. Legend has truly cut down Andy at the knees, completely disrupting his game plan. And finally there, the refinery gets placed. I was a little worried when Legend dropped down 1-3 in the map score and then he was having those connection problems that this was just going to go Andy's way, but it feels like Legend has a much better shot now.
Yes. Because he defended the NG.
Yeah, clutch defense of the NG. First couple BFs are out, or at least one. Loaded up. Rhinos in the north, Rhinos in the south. Ore miners getting pushed away once again. 2 BFs to defend. Rhino's gonna get pushed away up there. Legend not expanding too much. He's still just keeping his triple War Factory, I think.
I think he's building Battle Lab right now.
Rhinos commit to the attack on the power plant, but they don't actually get it. Rhinos are maybe gonna commit to the attack on the Battle Fortress, and they do indeed get it. Guardian GIs deploying immediately, and the second BF is going to go down, barely gets eliminated there, but it's gonna trade. No, both of the Rhinos do manage to escape. All right, Chronosphere is here.
And battle up by Legend.
So he does eventually get that Battle Lab. Legend has had a really hard time breaking the defense of Andy. I mean, does he just need more Desolators, or does he need more Rhinos?
He needs to get Iron Curtain up, and then maybe kill with the first use.
All right, well, just on cue, Iron Curtain gets deployed in the top right. Couple of GIs defending these War Miners. Fresh Paradrop coming in, and here's the Desolators. Gonna try and deal with the infantry of Andy. Another BF is here. Prison Tower gets deployed. Prison Tower getting shut down. Desolators trying to close the distance. They're going to be able to clear out the GIs. Nicely played there by Legend. Barely able to move his units close enough. That was a great double play there by Legend. The Rhino tanks absorbing all of the attention of Andy, and then Legend getting the deploy there. A couple of siege choppers trying to move in. All right, 1 minute and a half left on the Chronosphere and on the Iron Curtain. It could be lights out for either player.
Andy's broke, and Iron Curtain is gonna end Andy.
Siege choppers get pushed back. All right, so there's the Iron Curtain. It's going off, and this is the moment for Legend to shine. Andy doesn't have much. He does Chronosphere 2 BFs to the top right-hand corner of the map. It's going to be a trade, game for game, unit for unit, and I'm not sure. He's going for the Iron Curtain in the top right. These Rhino tanks still persisting in the bottom left. He got the Battle Lab, and he's going for the barracks now, trying to shut down the War Factory as well. Meanwhile, in the top right, the BFs get the Iron Curtain, and they can't finish the War Miners fast enough. The Chronosphere goes down in the bottom left, but the last power plant might be the only available target there for Legend. Andy escapes with both of his BFs in the top right. Rhinos are literally just taking whatever target strays a little too far. A couple of siege choppers moving in, a couple of desolators as well. Prison Tower gets established, but all the infantry have been cleared. Legend has maybe finally broken the defense, but the BFs are taking down the MCV in the top side of the map. A little bit too slow with the Rhinos there. Legend holding on with all he's got to try and force Andy off the cliff, but Andy is resilient. Legend is having such a tough time ending Andy. Andy's defense and tenacity has just been a little bit too much. Rhino's going to be responding in the north. They finally get the shutdown on the BFs. Only two Grizzlies left. The GG has been called, and Legend takes another game. Oh, man. Game number 6 takes us to the map Split Level, where in the north, still with the winning map score as the Red Yuri, this is Andy.
And on the bottom side, we have Legend as yellow color, playing as Iraq.
Sticking with Iraq this whole time. I do appreciate that Andy is, playing a little bit of a mix-up depending on the map, whatever he feels is strongest. You did mention that last map, a lot of people think it's good for Yuri, and Andy ended up playing allies on it and losing. So I guess now he's going to try and mix things up. He gets to choose the map. Legend didn't veto the map, though, so I guess Legend is feeling okay about fighting Andy on this map.
Yeah, I guess it's a pretty balanced map for Yuri and Soviet.
So right away, Andy locks up his MCV once again, places those walls all around it. One Gat tank trying to sneak into Legend's base. Is Is that just for the scouts?
Yeah, just scouting.
He just did a
scouting.
complete drive-by. I guess he does get a nice little reveal of the map with that gat tank. Miners only on production there for Andy. Radar comes up for Legend. Andy spreading out to all of the gems pretty much as quickly as he can. But you know, Andy is really good at identifying those gems. That is one nice advantage for him.
Yeah, it's advantage, huge advantage of Yuri.
Right, right. Those expansions come up a lot more quickly. Legend is going to try and shut this down. Desolator does take a bit of damage. He's barely on the edge there. He goes clean up a couple of miners, and he actually gets the gat tank as well. So, well done there to that one Desolator, giving his life to quite a lot.
One miner lost by Legend on bottom left. Magnitron killed it. Magnitron dropped it on top of the refinery, so both died.
Oh, perfect. Unfortunately for Legend, his small victories come at quite a cost. Triple flak now out for Legend. He's going for the same kind of mass flaks that we saw him win one of the Yuri games with. One of the games against Yuri with. Couple of gats.
Disc in flight.
Yeah, good thing about Yuri
Lab
Prime is that
up.
you can put it on the water and be safe.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, he's just hanging out on the water. Not as many naval units as we have in Red Alert 3, but Masterminds get most of the army there, and Andy feeling pretty good about that little exchange. Most of Legend's flaks end up going down to the mine control, and now he's just going to suicide them on that refinery. Meanwhile, Legend's trying to get chased, trying to shut down the Masterminds, but he's got too few units, and Legend just feels like he is falling apart here. He does eventually get it. Wow, he barely was able to save that refinery.
Bottom left snipe on bottom left.
Couple of gats sneaking in, they take down the battle lab before Legend can respond. Iron Curtain is still here, Genetic Mutator is ready to go, and Psychic Decimator Dominator just got deployed. MCV under threat, Flying Saucer, as well as a Gat, as well as a Mastermind, as well as a Magnetron. And Legend trying desperately to keep control of this. Mastermind takes almost all of the flaks, and they're just going to suicide on the refinery. They're going for it. Legend getting shut down once again, but he barely manages to save himself.
Disc in flight.
Mutates the slaves and grinds the roots for money.
Okay, yeah, in the top left there. Legend, so many close calls. This guy has almost been knocked out of this game so many times, with the mind control of Andy taking most of his army away. I have to hand it to Legend, because when my stuff gets mind controlled, I get a lot more tilted than Legend does get. Perfect control there by Andy, grinding everything that gets infected by a terror drone. Psychic Towers not killed fast enough, but they are killed eventually. Another Mastermind pops on out, and Legend trying to burn through Andy's base, but he's just having trouble getting the real damage done. Going for the miners, maybe, not going to stop to kill the power plant. Mastermind is a little too close for comfort, and Legend will escape. That Iron Curtain didn't feel like it felt like he wanted to get more with it. He did not get very much.
Well, he killed the genetic mutator. It was huge.
At least he got that. Andy not much of a ground army after the pure number of assaults that he's gone for. He's got the masterminds and he's starting to rebuild. He repairs the bridge to the middle of the map. Genetic Mutator comes back online.
He wants to get the gems in middle.
Right. Alright, next assault is ready. 2 masterminds, 2 magnetrons, 2 flying saucers, and 2 gats. Perfect infect there by those terror drones, but they're just gonna go for it. Battle Bunker able to hold most of these units back. Terror drones able to deal with almost everything else, and very well cleaned up there by Legend. Psychic Dominator gets something in the bottom left.
Got the lab and expansion.
Oh, the rebuilt battle lab after it got sniped the first time. And he's taking most of the gems in the very center of the map.
I wonder how much money he will take. He spent 500, but maybe he will earn like 5,000? Who knows?
Right. How much those gems are worth there in the middle?
I'm not sure. That's what I wonder.
Battle Bunker takes a couple of shots there. Oh, nicely done there with the flak. Gets it off the edge. And Battle Bunker holds for a moment. Bunch of fully heroic conscripts inside of there. Mastermind takes over one of them. Another sneaky couple of brutes sneaking into the bottom left-hand corner. The Iron Curtain itself. And it looks like Legend is going to barely be able to save it. Tanks are responding. So Legend has to burn his IC to save it.
And now Legend is defending with conscripts and flags.
Conscripts and mass flag. A couple of rhinos sneaking up the left side of the map. He's going to try and counterattack while Andy's entire army is focused right here in the bottom right-hand corner. There are a couple of Yuri clones up there. He does crush them, though, so he shuts those down. Meanwhile, Magnetron's trying to take out a couple of more flags. Mastermind trying to mind control a couple of conscripts. Mass numbers here for Legend, able to push Andy back. Meanwhile, the rhinos in the top left causing even more problems, forcing all of the miners back further and further. And he's just going to suicide on the Psychic Dominator. Psychic Tower a little bit too close there for comfort, and he loses a couple of rhinos to it. Unfortunately for Legend, his backstab attempt does not work. Brutes come in, but they're getting cut down by the terror drones, and the terror drones clearing up the army, but forcing the sell off of the MCV. Legend loses his MCV, and his defense is falling apart here. The terror drones are going to get the kill on everything that's important. These masterminds will let them know. The grinder! Before the mastermind goes down, the grinder cleans everything up, and the GG gets called. Legend has been defeated. The Psychic Dominator to finish it out, and Andy goes to match point with a 4-2 score. Game number 7 takes us to the map Sen River. Andy has switched back over to America, playing red in the north.
On the bottom we have Legend playing as Iraq, as yellow.
Alright, so on the south side, Tech Power Plant is in the bottom right, and oil is in the bottom left, and then it's flipped for the north, but you do get those gems right away.
Yeah. Same for...
Dang, because of the power plants, you get access to a ton of gems right away. Like, there's gems in the main, and then there's also gems at the expansion.
Yes, that's where you put your war factory, and then refinery, and mine.
Right. Legend goes for the refinery in the main.
Because he wants to put war factory? Well, no, I'm mistaken. Maybe it's build order for Sov versus Sov, but this is Allied versus Soviet, so the build order changes.
Yeah. All right, engineer inside of the IFV for Andy. We've seen this a couple of times, and it's had decent success. Engineer inside of a flak for Legend, so it looks like they're going to be doing the same exact thing. Engineer pops out, he does not get the war factory. Meanwhile, Legend in the north goes for maybe the refinery. No, doesn't get anything. So net 0.
Legend is now taking the gems on bottom left.
So basically just doing the slight opposite. You know, Andy takes the gems in the main base a little bit later. Legend takes the gems at the expansion a little bit later. Basically the same thing.
NGIV.
The IFV actually gets... The IFV gets tagged in the middle of the map. Legend sees this coming. He's got the sentry gun there. Ore miner comes off. Engineer gets sniped. Nicely done by Legend. Andy, of course, is at a 4-2 map score. So Andy needs one more game to finish out this series, to win the series versus Legend. And Legend has to make the comeback 3 games in a row. No mistakes, no drops. He's going to start maybe with this Rhino attack. He gets pushed away. Andy able to defend the main, but Andy is not going to defend his expansion.
NGIV on bottom.
Ooh, sneaking in the terror drone is chasing him. The MCV is not the target. Just as the Grizzlies arrive, the engineer forces the sell-off of one of the war factories. The engineer does get sniped. The production of a Legend has been cut down. Grizzlies getting hunted by these rhinos, and Andy has taken the pressure off of himself. But was that actually worth it for Andy?
Yes, Andy killed the miner as well.
Oh, and now he's keeping up the pressure in the bottom left, chasing another miner as Legend is having a bit of difficulty responding to all of this pressure. Tanks rotating. Prism Tower is here. Rockies are here. Andy trying to shut out this series. Take it 5-2 in 7 maps. Andy recommitting with the Grizzlies in the main of Legend. Legend able to hold off the Grizzlies for now. The Rhinos committing to the attack in the top left. Power plant may eventually go down. Enough to take the Prism. Nope. Prism Tower doesn't go offline. Legend. It feels like he's getting torn apart here.
The most important part of that attack of Andy was getting battle up successfully and then build up high tier units.
Right. Legend is limited in his attack, and Andy is just doing whatever he wants.
I
hope you've got the defense ready. Yeah, Andy dropping paratroopers in the bottom right. Assume there will be a sentry gun. 2 sentry guns, all right. He does get the building on the north side. Yeesh. And he's shutting everything down. So eventually Legend does take down those GIs. Did Legend ever rebuild his tech lab, his battle lab?
He hasn't built it, I think.
Sheesh. Desolators coming in. Legend still fighting this one out. Tons of mirages in the middle of the map. And Andy, he's feeling pretty good. He can't totally strike out onto the map. Legend does have a good ground army.
Do you see walking polar bear on the right side?
The walking polar bear on the left side?
On the right side, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's Spy.
That's perfect. Spy coming in. Is he just going for the ore refinery in the bottom right?
We will see. Maybe it's not worth stealing the money because Legend is broke.
So Andy did drop some paratroopers in the bottom left. It didn't do much at all. Desolators keeping the forces in the middle of the map back. That polar bear is still making its way along the south side of the map. A couple of BFs here, or at least one. Forcing the sell-off of the power plant. He's going for the battle lab.
Okay, he
It goes for the radar.
Yeah. It will make Legend blind. It will close all the scout.
Right. It closes off the map.
There is a map.
Iron Curtain. So really nicely done there by Andy. Trying to keep Legend literally in the dark. There was a little bit of a rocky attack coming over on the left side. And of course, Legend doesn't see this coming. There's a paradrop coming in the main base right on top of that battle lab. And there's Mirage tanks threatening at the front. Legend is ready to go, but this is Andy's game, and he is here to take it. Legend actually getting all of the paradrop troops, able to take them down. Rockies get the Iron Curtain, or get the oil derrick on the left. The Iron Curtain is safe for now, so Andy may be messing that up a little bit. Legend's defense is feeling really solid, but Andy is finding edges around the corners of the map. Another IFV trying to sneak past the defense. He goes for the snipe on one of the Desolators, but no, Tanya will not be able to sneak in there. The Rhinos will take her down. Desolator actually gets her. The miner in the bottom right goes down. Unfortunately for Legend, his war miners have just been cleaned up time and time again.
Now it's Legend's chance to win.
Alright, so he's going to be going up against the Mirages. He's committing to the attack. Only 3 tanks got IC'd, so he's going to be rushing in. He's going for, I guess, the MCV over the War Factory. He's trying to get on top of the Mirages, but the Mirages have pulled back to the far side of the map. There goes the Iron Curtain. It has elapsed. Only a couple of Mirages left. Only a couple of Rhinos left. And Legend, has he done it? Has he actually managed to do enough damage? Another Prism Tower comes up. Legend breaks through the Mirage tank numbers. It still kind of feels like Legend is dead in the water.
Well, it's pretty even match right now. I cannot really say who's gonna win.
Really?
Yes.
Andy with the paradrop in the south is going to get found out. Another Tanya comes in. Paradrop gets cleaned up. No Chronosphere from Andy. Why do you think that is?
Because he doesn't have the money, enough money for it.
Tanya ready to go. Mirage tanks dealing with these Rhinos. Tanya actually going to exit over to the left side. Getting chased away by these flaks. Wow, really good defense by Legend. Legend just cutting through. MCV somewhat undefended. Fully heroic Rhino on the right side. He cleans up 3 miners ready to go. Desolators keeping the Pier Tech very safe, and Andy falls apart here. His MCV goes down. Legend coming through. The GG gets called, and Andy drops game number 7. Legend evens the score a little bit, takes it 3-4.
So I was wrong in that the match was even because I didn't know how many Mirages Andy has, because you cannot see it as spectator.
Game number 8 takes us to the map Dry Heat in the north as the Red Yuri. Leading the series still 4-3, it's Andy.
And on bottom we have Legend playing as Iraq.
Alright, so double oil derrick in this particular game, so no like tech power plant or anything, just oil derricks. In the last Yuri game, one of the comments that you made, I think, in between was that Legend needed to put on more pressure on Andy early. If he lets that Yuri player get too big too fast, then there's not really much that Legend can do.
Yeah. Legend has to go 0 miners, go some Rhinos, and then maybe sneak some Rhinos first, and then sneak miners from War Factory, and then take up.
Oh, One miner does get cleaned up here by the dog on the left side of the map, so good job from Legend cutting off that gem production over on the left. Gat Tank does respawn. There is at least one Rhino coming out from that War Factory, and Legend, is he going a second Rhino, or is it just the one Rhino?
2 rhinos.
Okay, so he's going for this little bit of aggression. More miners coming out from Andy. A lot of gems over on the left side for Andy, and of course, that is exactly where Legend is focused. One Magnetron is there. 3 miners are ready to go from Andy. And Legend just pulls back.
Yeah, because Legend forced Andy to be worried about.
Was that enough of a response from Andy that Legend is happy with where the game is?
Yes,
or is
just
Andy
one
gonna be able to run
Magnetron and
this
one
way?
Gatling is enough to defend this army.
There's a virus as well. Brings up the conscripts. Conscripts still pressing in. Desolator trying to clear up the middle of the map. Gets the Gat Tank at least. Conscript mostly getting cleared up, but it allows this Desolator to clear this entire area. Dang! Legend with the setup. It's the second wave of miners as well.
Disc in flight.
That felt like a lot of damage from Legend to Andy.
Yeah, slow down the economy.
Right, by a decent margin, and Legend behind this gets the Iron Curtain, gets the Battle Lab. Flying Saucer on the right cleans up another one of the Desolators. Legend fighting for his life to try and keep his hope alive to take us to the ace match. Genetic Mutator comes online.
So right now Legend has to wait until Iron Curtain be ready. He cannot attack.
Right. Too many psychics. Oil Derrick in the bottom left, under threat there. Rhino's defending the main. And it looks like Andy will be able to take down the somewhat less important Oil Derrick. Mass Flak is here, going for the Mastermind, not able to get it yet there. Finally, he does break the Mastermind. And Legend clears up Andy's attack. Psychic Dominator comes online.
Yeah, Legend keeps sending Desolator on the right side to slow down the economy of Andy.
It feels like slowing down Andy's economy is something that Legend focused on in some of the other games versus Yuri. And he's done it a little bit here. Iron Curtain fires off. Aerodrone's moving in. They get the Infect on at least 2 of the Magnetrons. I think they get the Mastermind as well. Not quite going to be able to shut everything down, but Legend takes the engagement easily in the top left, and he's going to keep up the pressure. He's at least cleared up this entire top left corner of the map. Grinder comes online. Genetic Mutator fired off somewhere on the right side of the map, and the Brutes are about to get ground down to nothing. Legend doing a really good job of limiting Andy's options with the miners in the middle of the map. Fully Heroic Rhino gets called off. Nuclear Missile gets added into the mix. And I do have to give it to Legend. He feels like a lot closer to being in control this game.
But he has to control his miners. He has 2 AFK miners on bottom left. And he's broke.
Oh yeah, they're just hanging out next to that refinery. Another assault from Andy. 2 Magnetrons, 2 Masterminds. Terradrome gets a couple of infects there. Yuri gets cleaned up. Psychic Tower holding off the attack from Legend. Legend down to 1K. He did get those miners back to work though.
Oh, look at his money. It doubled.
Yeah, and of course, genetic mutator just used there by Andy in the top right. Andy looking to close this series out, hoping to finish up this show match. A couple of masterminds in the middle of the map.
Be one.
Gets the refinery in the south. Psychic Dominator shows up there. Sniping those desolators is a pretty important part of Andy's game plan here. Nicely done by Legend, defending on the left side. Oh, he gets the refinery as well. Perfect use of that magnetron. One Rhino tank lost. Legend starting to lose control of his ground army, but he's ready. Iron Curtain fires off, gets the terror drones, and mostly gets the infects. Nuclear missile 50 seconds away. A lot of flax on the left side of the map. Where do you think he goes with the nuke?
On battle lab.
Roots fighting in the middle with the tanks. Mastermind shows up in the top left. A couple of things getting ground down to dust. Nuke is ready to go. Gets the battle lab, gets the war factory as well. Shutting down some of Andy's tech. Less than $1,000 in the bank for Legend. Andy's economy has not been stopped for the last couple of minutes. This is going to be a tough defense here. Mastermind goes for the cap of all three of those desolators. What does Andy do from this point? Or what does Legend do from this point forward?
To be honest, every time Legend tries to attack, he kind of donates money to Andy, because look, he will grind the army again, and he will also get the money for the drone inside of the unit. So it's
Tough
plus.
setup there for Legend. Legend has gotten a little bit of cash, trying to break into the top right. Legend falling flat here as Andy's forces just tear Legend apart. Magnetron taking control of that heroic Rhino, eliminating it from the battle there.
Be one.
Psychic Dominator comes over the tanks, and that is going to be the GG. Andy calls it a little bit early, and Legend hasn't left the game yet. Miners coming in here for Andy. He's literally trolling a little bit with these miners leading the way. And I guess this is going to be the all-out assault from Andy to end the game once and for all. Going for the flax. Does lose a lot of the infantry there, but he's just going to suicide on the MCV. He takes the MCV, going for the Iron Curtain after that. A couple of GAT tanks here, a couple of Magnetrons, and a couple of Lashers as well. Miners going for the kill, and Legend still here, but not much hope of taking the game. And so I guess Andy will win it, 5-3. Barely not allowing us to go to the ace match. GG well played comes out, and Legend leaves the game. What a great back and forth series from Andy and Legend.